The knot of the three words. Here is where the first miracle took place. One devout and tormented youngster asked the High Will for punishment. He placed a wooden log where he sat and prayed. He prayed hoping to be heard. He prayed for pain, so he could ease the guilt that sharply pierced his soul. Then, the miracle manifested itself. It made roots grow and twist over his arms and legs, but not a cry nor a complaint came out from his mouth. Every inhabitant of this land bore witness to it, and all of them prayed before the besought eternal joy of that youngster. This triune tree that sprouted years after his death was named the Knot of the Three Words. For three are its twisted trunks, and three were the words spoken by that youngster before he died. My great guilt.
Running around the halls and rooftops of the highly religious kingdom known as Custodia, slashing away at gruesome monstrous looking enemies and platforming over deadly pits and spikes, brought back a feeling I haven't had from a video game in a while. A sense of exploration and adventure, the fear and the excitement of the unknown. Not knowing what would be through the next door or the next building, but eagerly anticipating it nonetheless. Could it be a health upgrade? Maybe something to make your character's sword more powerful? Maybe it's a checkpoint. You hope it's a checkpoint. That is Blasphemous' greatest achievement. Instead of being forced to explore an area for an upgrade or just for progression, you want to explore this horrific and haunting world. You want to complete the side quests, not because you have to, because they are all interesting and help you learn more about this world you are stuck in, for however long the game takes you. That's another great thing about Blasphemous. You can play at your own pace and go where you want, granted you have unlocked the area, and each area is completely different from the last. You could be in a burned forest, then next to Grand Cathedral, to climb a snowy mountain with no sign of the top in sight, to dragging yourself through the poison-laced sewers of a city. You never know what you will be exploring next and what monsters and horrific bosses you will encounter. All this is presented in stunningly beautiful pixel art that really captures the gothic theme. At first look, Blasphemous looks like a Dark Souls game with the gothic looking world, the purpose of going back to where you last died, and the game mechanic of checkpoints surviving all the previous killed enemies. However, writing this off as a Dark Souls clone would be completely wrong, as this is where the similarities end. A game that this should be compared to is Nintendo's Metroid series, as this game is a Metroidvania with a big, non-linear map that consists of many areas, some of which cannot be accessed without the right item or upgrade. Tough, precise platforming is required to avoid a gruesome death from spikes and other deadly traps. While the main gameplay of Blasphemous is hack and slashing at the various monsters inhabiting the world, while exploring many different areas to find items for progression before making your way to a challenging boss at the end of each area, which will test your various skills, such as parrying, one of the most useful skills you have at your disposal. This requires precise timing to parry an enemy's attack, leaving a window of opportunity to counterattack, or if you got perfect timing, the enemy will be stunned, letting you hit the parry button again to slash and kill the enemy instantly. Sometimes you can hit the enemy and they will be stunned, but with a red glow around them letting you perform a brutal finisher on them. However, you also have a dodge that lets you avoid projectiles and go through certain enemies, meaning you can avoid them altogether. You can also find upgrades to your sword, the Mea Culpa, a sword born from guilt. These upgrades will give you a benefit and a weakness to your sword, and are meant to be used as a risk and reward mechanic. However, one problem with the game is that there is only one upgrade you should use, which lets you deal more damage while on lower health, and has no punishment, making it the only logical choice as an upgrade and all the other ones unfortunately useless. You can also unlock combos for your sword, however these I also found to be mostly useless, as performing them more often than not leads to you getting hit by an enemy or projectile, and you can kill the same enemy with just a basic attack move. The story of Blasphemous can seem confusing at first, but it's actually fairly simple when you dig further into it. You are the Penitent One, a lone survivor of a massacre of a congregation called the Brotherhood of the Silent Sorrow, an order of warriors who took a vow of silence as a form of penance. They all wear helmets based on the Spanish capirote, a symbol of Catholic penitent, one of the main themes of the game. The Brotherhood was murdered due to an unexplained conflict with the Church and His Holiness Escobar, who ordered them to be killed. The land of Custodia worships this entity called the Miracle, which punishes or blesses humans in strange, cruel, and violent ways, with its first recorded appearance turning a boy, known later as the Twisted One, who wished for punishment and pain for his guilt, into a tree that grew out of his body. When he died, the tree where he died started to produce burning gold liquid from the trunks. This event was known as the First Miracle. The miracle has affected the land for the sins of the people and caused devastation to the inhabitants, and cursed the kingdom. Most of the bosses are a result of a blessing or curse from the miracle, and the Penitent's One resurrection is a result of the miracle's power. The miracle also turned His Holiness Escobar into a tree after he turned his throne away from his congregation. The tree fully grown from the cathedral was then set on fire and burned for 90 days, until it left behind a mountain of ash with the throne on the top of it, with the Cradle of Affliction, a holy object containing the blood and gold of the Twisted One in it. All people that attempted to climb the ash were dragged down and consumed by their guilt, which were then reborn as monsters who fight in the game. The goal of the Penitent One is to kill Escobar and claim the Cradle of Affliction. The game has a lot of lore, with each item having a lengthy description, which I highly recommend reading through, as it will help you understand more about the miracle and the other aspects of the lore. To complete Blasphemous, there are a lot of collectibles and quests that must be done, such as finding lost bones of those who have perished, rosary beads, side quests, relics, prayers, and the Children of Moonlight, 38 flying angel kids hidden around the map. There are a lot of collectibles in the game, and the mode for doing it is just an alternate skin, which might not seem worth it, but the game itself is fun to complete. With that, I give a final rating of 91 to Blasphemous, and highly recommend anyone to play through this game. I had a lot of fun exploring the various areas and fighting the monsters and challenging bosses, while learning more about the lore of the game through the various items and characters. However, the lack of useful combos and sword upgrades can lead to repetitiveness in the combat, and the game isn't all that hard. I would say it is more challenging, as dying is not really that punishing at all, as the only thing it does is stop you from being able to use magic, which isn't that strong anyway. This can be a con or a pro of the game, but those looking for a really hard experience will be a little disappointed in it. I would definitely recommend Blasphemous though, as it offered a truly fun immersive experience and got me invested in the game's lore, something that is no small feat.